I spent $48,000 on a wedding I thought was about us, only to find out it was all a performance meant to break her ex's heart. My name is Marcus, 31M, and up until 6 months ago, I thought I'd found the woman I was going to grow old with. Her name was Jenna, so 29F, and she walked into my life like something out of a movie, bright smile, loud laugh, and a presence that drew people in like a magnet. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party. She had just moved back to our city after spending 2 years in New York. I was doing well for myself, working as a software engineer with a decent salary and a good social circle. Jenna was stunning, charismatic, and always knew what to say. In any situation. She was working in event planning, which in hindsight should have been a red flag, given how easily she seemed to orchestrate moments for maximum impact. We started dating, and things moved fast. By month 3, we were practically living together. My friends told me they'd never seen me this happy, and I believed them. Jenna seemed to know everything about me, my favorite breakfast, the way I liked my laundry folded, even which side of the bed I needed to sleep on. It felt like she studied me. At the time, I mistook that for love. We got engaged 1.5 years into our relationship. I proposed during a trip to Spain. She cried, kissed me, said yes, and posted it to Instagram, before I'd even slipped the ring on her finger. Again, I brushed it off as excitement. That's the thing about hindsight. It turns everything you missed into flashing red warnings. Her family adored me. Mine liked her well enough, though my sister once mentioned Jenna seemed too polished, like she was always performing. I told her to lay off. I was defensive, I was blinded. Wedding planning started almost immediately. She took charge. Venues, florists, dress fittings, guest lists, every detail she obsessed over. I thought she was just passionate. I even admired, but I started to notice odd things. There were a lot of whispered conversations with her bridesmaids that stopped when I walked into the room. The guest list kept changing, and for some reason she insisted on inviting someone named Ethan, even though I had never heard his name before. When I asked, she said, "Oh, he's just an old college friend. We're not close, but I don't want to be rude by leaving him out." I bought it. I regret that now. The day before our wedding, I caught her staring at her phone longer than usual, not texting, just staring. When I asked if everything was okay, she forced a smile and said, "Just nerves." At the rehearsal dinner, things began to really click in strange, uncomfortable ways. My groomsmen were teasing me, and someone joked about whether I was more nervous for the vows or the first dance. Jenna laughed a little too loudly and said, "Oh, he's got nothing to worry about. This wedding's going to be unforgettable." Something about the way she said it made my skin crawl. Not warm, not reassuring, almost triumphant. Her maid of honor, Katie, kept shooting her looks. That felt like code. Every now and then they would excuse themselves together, once in the middle of dinner, again during dessert. I chalked it up to last-minute planning drama. I should have followed them. The morning of the wedding, I woke up in the hotel room. Alone. She was already out. Her note said, "Gone to get ready, can't wait to see you at the altar, love you always." I didn't think much of it, until my sister pulled me aside, looking shaken. She had arrived early to drop off a gift, and had overheard something in the bridal suite. According to her, Jenna had said something along the lines of, "He'll be there, and when he sees it, he'll finally understand what he lost." I laughed it off, nervously. "You probably misunderstood." But the words stuck. At the venue, everything looked perfect. Jenna had spared no expense. Flower arches, champagne fountains, a string quartet, even a drone team flying overhead. We had 180 guests. I remember standing at the altar sweating, heart pounding, not from love, but from a sinking feeling I couldn't shake. Then I saw her walk down the aisle, and I saw him. A man, tall, fit, dressed casually, standing alone near the back. Not part of the wedding, not smiling. She looked at him. Not a passing glance, a direct, deliberate gaze, for 5 full seconds, and she smiled, softly, not at me, at him. My stomach dropped. The ceremony went on. I fumbled through the vows. She nailed hers. Passionate, poetic, too perfect. She was performing. At the reception, I couldn't stop watching her. Every laugh felt placed, every dance like it was choreographed for an invisible audience. When the cake was cut, when the first dance started, when the slideshow of our journey together played, she kept glancing toward that same man. I pulled Katie aside. I don't know what I expected, but her face turned pale. Marcus. You really don't know? Know what? That's Ethan, Jenna's ex, the one who dumped her 2 years ago, the guy she swore she'd never forgive. Everything froze. I looked around the room and realized the wedding wasn't for us. It was her theater, her revenge. I didn't confront her right away. Some instinct told me to keep my composure, to gather facts before I detonated my world. Maybe I was still clinging to the hope I was wrong. That night, after the reception ended and we were finally alone in the honeymoon suite, I asked her one simple question. Why was Ethan at our wedding? Her eyes widened, but she didn't lie. Because I invited him. Why? Pause. Because I needed him to see it. I felt like the floor fell out from under me. You planned our wedding to get back at your ex? She didn't flinch. I loved him for 5 years, Marcus. He threw me away like I was nothing. I wanted him to see what he lost, to see that I moved on, that someone better wanted me. And that's what I am? A prop in your play? She didn't answer. Walked out. Didn't take my suit off, didn't touch the wine chilling in the corner. I sat outside the hotel staring at traffic, wondering how long I'd been her pawn. I called my best friend Daniel at 3 a.m., told him everything. He didn't sound surprised. She always came off a little too curated, man, like she was rehearsing. But I didn't want to kill your buzz. I figured you saw something in her I didn't. That was the worst part. Everyone had seen it but me. The next day I packed up. I didn't scream, didn't post about it, I just left. Sent her a message later that day. You can keep the ring. You earned it, with your performance. Blocked her after that. News spread fast. Our wedding guests started texting me within days. I didn't say much, just that the wedding was off and I wouldn't be discussing it. My sister, bless her, handled most of the people reaching out. Jenna tried to control the narrative of course, claimed we had irreconcilable differences, blamed me for being emotionally distant, but the truth leaks through cracks. Enough people had seen that look she gave Ethan, enough overheard whispers from her bridal party. Katie, her maid of honor, eventually messaged me. A wall of text, said she was sorry, said she never agreed with Jenna's plan but didn't know how to stop it. She admitted the entire wedding had been curated to perfection, not for a marriage but for impact. Jenna had carefully selected every Instagrammable moment, every dramatic beat, to create envy, not love. Jenna didn't just want to move on from Ethan, she wanted to win. And I was the weapon. Some of our mutual friends dropped her after that. Others stayed. People pick sides, but I didn't care. I moved out of our shared apartment within a week, cut all ties. Ethan? He reached out. Yeah, that part was surreal. He messaged me on Instagram. Hey man, sorry you got caught up in her mess. I had no idea she was still that hung up. I didn't reply. What was the point? It's been 6 months. I'm in therapy. Not because I miss her, but because I need to understand how I let it get that far. I've learned a lot about narcissism, about love bombing, about manipulation disguised as affection. Jenna didn't just betray me. She constructed a world around me and made me believe it was real. That messes with your head. But I've also learned about myself. I was so desperate to believe I'd found the one that I ignored the signs. I ignored my gut. I ignored people who loved me. That's on me. I don't date much right now. Trust takes time, but I do journal. I hike more. I spend time with friends who don't walk on eggshells. I laugh more authentically now, even if less often. Jenna. Last I heard, she's still posting curated soft life photos on Instagram. Sunsets, yoga poses, brunches. No sign of Ethan, no sign of me either. That's fine, she can keep the stage. I'm done being her audience.